The hallway, no one saw the hallway was quiet. It's too quiet for a movie set. Most people had gone home. A few distant voices echoed from behind the doors, but this corner was empty. Cold air hummed from a vent above. The lights flickered softly. Armas sat on the floor, knees pulled up to her chest, makeup still perfect, but her eyes swollen. She had been crying, not the loud kind. It's not the kind that made people rush over. Hers was the silent kind. The kind that hides behind smiles and waits for the hallway to empty. She thought no one would see her here. Not tonight, she had smiled. Through rehearsals, laughed at the jokes. Nodded politely to the director. But inside, everything felt heavy. The call from home had come right before lunch. Her mother had fallen again, second time in a month. This time was worse. And Anna was oceans away. She felt helpless, trapped between two lives, one of bright lights and cameras, and the other of real people she loved who needed her. A door creaked open. She quickly wiped her face, pulled her hoodie over her head, and turned away. She didn't want anyone to see her like this, Anna. The voice was soft, careful, not curious, concerned. She turned her head just enough. To see him, it was Keanu Reeves. He stood still for a moment like he wasn't sure if he should walk over. Then, slowly, without a word, he sat down beside her. Not close, but not far either. Just enough to say, "I'm here if you want." She didn't speak. He didn't ask. They just sat. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was quiet like shade on a hot day, gentle, patient, after a few minutes. She whispered, "I didn't mean to cry here." He looked at her, kind eyes steady. "You don't have to explain. We all break sometimes." Anna looked down at her hands. "I just feel ... torn. Like I'm doing everything, but it's never enough." Keanu nodded. "I know that feeling." She smiled weakly. "Out. You're Keanu Reeves. Read.grounded.com. Always know what to do." He gave a soft laugh. "I've been broken to Anna many times. The world doesn't see those moments, but they're there. And they change you." She stared at him. She had seen his kindness on set, how he talked to crew members, how he never made anyone feel small. But this was different. "How do you deal with it?" she asked. Keanu took a breath. "I sit with it, like I'm sitting with you now. I don't run from it. Sometimes when it gets too heavy, I remind myself ... I'm not alone. I don't have to carry it all by myself." A tear slid down her cheek. She didn't wipe it. He saw it. And he didn't look away. "I feel alone most days," she said. Keanu reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded piece of paper. He handed it to her. She opened it slowly. It was a quote. Handwritten, double quotes, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about." She looked at him, confused. "I carry that with me," he said. "Gave it to myself years ago. When I lost someone." His voice didn't shake. But his eyes, ... they held a quiet storm. "You can keep it," he added. "Or pass it on someday." Anna held the paper like it was made of glass. Fragile. Precious. She didn't say anything. For a long time then, she whispered, "Thank you." He stood slowly, offered a hand. She hesitated, then took it. As he helped her up, their eyes met. Not as actor and actress. Not as stars. But as two people quietly carrying invisible wounds, they walked back toward the dressing rooms, the hallway. Still silent. That night, Anna didn't cry alone. And she would remember that forever. Whispers behind the curtain. Next morning, Anna walked onto the set with a quiet strength in her steps. It wasn't loud or proud, but it was there. Her eyes were still tired, and her smile was soft. But something inside her had shifted. People around her noticed. They didn't say anything, but they could feel it. Keanu was already there, sitting on a folding chair near the edge of the set, reading a small paperback book. He looked up when she walked in, gave her a small nod. She nodded back. It was simple, but it meant everything. The director clapped his hands, calling everyone into place. Today's scene was heavy, emotional, the kind that pulls everything out of you if you let it. Anna was nervous. She had always delivered, always been professional. But after last night, her heart felt raw. Keanu walked up to her before the cameras rolled. "You ready?" he asked, voice low. She shrugged. Maybe, he smiled. "That's enough." Then he did something unexpected. He handed her a small stone, round, smooth, warm from his hand. "I keep this in my pocket," he said, "for balance, for weight, for grounding. I've had it for years." She looked down at it, surprised. "You're giving it to me? It's just for the scene?" He said, "Hold it, feel it, breathe." Anna held the stone in her fist. It was heavier than it looked, but it didn't drag her down. It centered her. "Thank you," she whispered. The cameras rolled. They did the scene. Anna didn't act that day. She lived it, every word. Every tear, every look at, all came from a real place. The pain, the longing, the fight to stay strong. It wasn't scripted. It was her. When the director called cut, the entire set went quiet. For a moment, no one moved. No one spoke. Then softly someone clapped. Then another, then everyone. Keanu looked at her eyes, proud, not for the performance, but for her courage. Anna exhaled deeply and stepped off the stage. Later, she found him sitting on a step behind the curtain, quietly drinking tea from a paper cup. She handed back the stone. "It worked," she said. He took it and smiled. "You did that, not the stone." Anna sat beside him. "Why are you so kind?" she asked suddenly. Keanu didn't answer right away. Then he said, "Because the world isn't always kind. And if no one makes the effort, then we lose something." She looked at him. "But you've had your own pain? Shouldn't that make you bitter?" "It almost did," he admitted. "But someone once showed me kindness when I was at my lowest, and it saved me." Anna blinked slowly. "Now you pass it on when I can," he said, "like last night." She went quiet. Then she asked, "Do you think people like us deserve that kind of kindness?" He turned toward her, eyes serious. "Everyone does, Anna, no matter how famous, no matter how broken." She nodded. A few feet away, two crew members peeked behind a curtain. They didn't mean to intrude, but they had noticed something different, something real. "Do you think something's going on between them?" One whispered. "No," the other replied. "It's not that." "Then what is it?" "I think he's just being human." She needed that. Later that night, Anna got another call from her family. This time her mother was out of the hospital, stable, resting. Her voice was weak, but warm. "You sound lighter," her mother said on the call. Anna smiled. "I met someone who reminded me that I'm not alone, a friend." Anna paused. "Something like that." She walked outside after the call. The night air was cool. The stars were out. And then she saw him. Keanu was sitting alone on a bench near the trailers, looking up at the sky. She walked over. "I told my mom about you," she said. He looked at her, curious. "What did you say?" "That you reminded me how to breathe?" He smiled. "That's a good start." They sat together in silence again. Not because they didn't have words, but because the quiet between them was enough. A few yards away, someone took a photo. They thought it was just a casual shot. Two actors sitting under the stars, but they had no idea what it really captured. It captured healing. It captured connection. It captured the start of something that would change them. Both. Not a romance, not yet. Something deeper. Something that didn't need labels. Just presence. Just understanding. Just kindness. The weight of silence. Anna walked into the studio the next day feeling different. She couldn't explain it in words. Something inside her was still fragile, still tender, but it wasn't breaking anymore. It was healing, not loudly. Quietly, the kind of healing that grows in silence, in stillness. In small moments that most people walk past without noticing. And there was Keanu again. He was talking to one of the lighting crew, laughing softly, hands moving as he explained something. The way he treated everyone the same, never felt fake. It was just him. She watched from a distance for a moment, then walked over. He saw her coming and smiled. "You look taller today," he said playfully. "Maybe I slept better," she. answered. Or maybe you remembered who you are, he replied, serious now. She paused. His words always landed like that, not heavy, but deep. They walked toward the wardrobe trailer together. No schedule told them to. They just fell into step. Can I ask you something personal? She said suddenly. Keanu nodded. Of course. Do. You ever feel like the world expects you to be strong all the time? Yes, he said simply. And sometimes I pretend, but it's a mask. And when the mask cracks, she asked. I let it, he said. Goes pretending forever. It steals your breath. Anna looked away. I think I've been holding my breath for years. They stopped walking. He looked at her gently. And maybe it's time to exhale. Just then, a production assistant came running over. Anna, we need you on set in 5. She nodded. As the assistant walked away, Keanu touched her shoulder. Lightly breathe through the scene, not around it. She nodded again, this time with more intention, and she did. The scene was emotional, again different though. It wasn't sadness this time. It was release. Her character had to confront the truth, and this time, Anna didn't act her way through it. She lived it. Afterward, the director came up to her. That was your best work, he said, stunned. Raw. Vulnerable. Real. Anna smiled politely. But inside, she knew it wasn't just acting. It was her. Later that evening, the cast gathered for a private dinner hosted by the producers. A small rooftop restaurant, soft lights, laughter in the air. Everyone was dressed up. Everyone played their part. Anna stood near the edge of the balcony, looking out over the city. The lights below shimmered like stars that had fallen and decided to stay. She didn't know Keanu had been watching her. He walked over, carrying 2 glasses of water. Thought you might need this? He said, You always show up like that, she replied. Like what? Like you already know what people need. I don't, he said softly. I just listen, even when no one's speaking. They sipped in silence. Then Anna turned to him. How do you stay grounded in this world, with all the noise, the fame, pressure? He looked at the sky. By remembering that it's not real. Cameras, the praise, the criticism, it fades. What stays is how you treat people when no one's watching. Anna's eyes watered again. Not from pain this time. From recognition. From truth, a moment passed. Someone inside called them back for a group photo. Anna turned to go, but Keanu stayed behind. She looked at him, curious. You're not coming in a minute, he said. Want to look at the stars a little longer? Anna smiled. You always do that, don't you? What? Find peace where no one else is looking. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. That night, back in her apartment, Anna opened her drawer. A little piece of paper he gave her, the quote still there. Be kind. For everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. She traced the letters with her fingers, then picked up her journal. She hadn't written in weeks, but now she began. I met someone who listens, who sees, who doesn't fix me but reminds me I'm worth fixing. And tonight, for the first time, in a long time, I didn't feel alone. She closed the book gently and slept with peace resting on her chest the next morning. On set, something strange happened. A young intern tripped while carrying a tray of coffees. They spilled everywhere. Some people laughed. Some rolled their eyes. But Keanu, he got down on one knee and helped clean it up without a word. Anna watched him, and for the first time, she joined him. Not because anyone asked her to, not for show, just to say, I see you. The intern looked at them both, stunned, and then he smiled. That smile stayed with Anna all day, because kindness has a way of multiplying, even in silence, even behind curtains, especially there. The story she never told it was raining, not the loud, stormy kind, but a soft drizzle, steady and calm. It's a kind of rain that soaks into your coat without you realizing it. Anna stood under a canopy near the studio gate, her umbrella forgotten. In the car, she didn't seem to mind. Her eyes were distant, watching the water dance across the pavement. There was a sadness in her stillness, not heavy, but old. The kind that lives in the corners of the soul. was quiet, patient, always waiting. Behind her, footsteps approached. She didn't need to turn. "You always find the loneliest places," Keanu said softly. "Maybe they find me," she replied. He stood beside her, holding his own umbrella. But he didn't open it. They let the rain touch them both. "Long day?" he asked. She nodded. "Long week. Want to talk about it?" "No," she said. Then after a pause, "But maybe I need to." Keanu waited. He always did. Anna leaned against the wall, her voice barely a whisper. "When I was a little girl, I used to sit in the kitchen and watch my mother stir soup. She had this old radio, always playing music from her childhood. Boleros, soft voices, gentle strings. It made me feel safe." Keanu listened, saying nothing. One day she turned it off. Just like that, and she never played it again. Anna looked away. I never asked why, but that silence, it stayed with me, followed me. Sometimes I think that's why I act. To fill the silence, Keanu's voice was gentle. "Maybe you act. To remember the sound." She turned toward him, surprised. He wasn't smiling. He meant it. "You see things?" She said. "Only because I've missed so much in my own life," he replied. "I try not to miss it in others." They stood there in the rain for a while. People passed by, umbrellas overhead, rushing to stay dry. But they didn't rush. Not today. Anna took a deep breath. "There's something else." Keanu waited. "I've never told anyone this," she said. "Not even my family." He didn't move. "When I got my first big role, I was alone. In a city I didn't know. In a hotel room that smelled like old carpet and fake flowers. I cried every night for a week. Not because I was scared, but because no one back home knew how lost I felt. I didn't want to ruin the moment for them. They were so proud. And I was breaking." Keanu's eyes softened. "That night you found me in the hallway," she said. "That was the first time I let someone see it again. The pain?" He nodded slowly. "Thank you for trusting me." Anna looked down. "I still feel guilty for it. For being human. For not being strong." Keanu gently reached out and took her hand. "Not in romance, not in comfort, but in truth. You were strong that night," he said. "You didn't hide." Anna didn't reply. She didn't need to. Back inside, a producer rushed up to them. "Press tours is moving up. I want both of you for a live interview tomorrow." Double quotes. Keanu nodded. "Okay." Anna hesitated. The producer noticed. "Everything all right?" "Yes," she lied. "Just a lot on my mind." The producer walked away. Keanu turned to her. "You don't have to do anything that hurts you. This is part of the job," she said. "So is protecting your peace." He replied. She smiled faintly. "I'll be all right." But she wasn't sure. The next morning, the interview began. Bright lights. Microphones. Questions with too many layers. The host leaned forward, smiling too much. "So, Anna Wet has this role taught you about strength and vulnerability." Anna froze. For a moment, her heart pounded in her ears. Then she glanced sideways. Keanu was there. He gave the smallest nod. And in that moment, she remembered the rain, the kitchen radio, the silence. "It taught me," she said slowly, "that strength isn't about holding everything inside. It's about knowing when to let it out. And vulnerability. That's where truth begins." The host smiled, pleased with the answer. Well said. But it wasn't said for the cameras. It was said for her. After the interview, Keanu pulled her aside. "You did good," he said. "I told the truth," she replied. "That's the bravest thing anyone can do." That night, Anna went home and played a bolero song on her phone. The same kind her mother used to listen to. She let it fill the room. No acting, no pressure, just sound, just feeling. She cried again, but this time, the tears weren't about pain. They were about return. A return to herself. And in the quiet hours. Before sleep, she sent Keanu a message. "Thank you for reminding me that silence doesn't mean emptiness. Sometimes it means healing." He replied a few minutes later, "Sometimes the quietest voices are the ones that save us." The voice she thought she lost studio was buzzing. Final scenes, final shots. The film was almost done. People moved faster. Call sheets grew longer. Tension and exhaustion hung in the air like fog, but not between Anna and Keanu, between them. There was something else now. Not spoken, not defined, but real. A quiet trust. The kind that doesn't ask for anything but offers everything. Anna sat on the edge of the makeup trailer, her hair half done, her thoughts far away. She held the smooth stone Keanu had given her again. She had kept it in her pocket every day since he first handed it to her. Not for luck, for grounding. He walked by, saw her sitting there, and stopped. Long day, he asked. Long thoughts. She replied, Those are heavier. She nodded. He waited. She finally looked up. They want me to give a speech at the wrap party. That's good, he said. No, it's not, she whispered. I'm not good at that, standing in front of people, saying something real. You do that every day, he said. You act, you speak, but not as me, she replied. When I'm someone else, I'm strong. When I'm me, ... I feel like I disappear. Keanu didn't smile, didn't nod. He just sat beside her. When I lost someone close, he said, I had to give a eulogy. My hands were shaking. My voice cracked. And afterward, someone said it was the most powerful speech they ever heard. Anna looked surprised. Why? Because it was honest, he said. And people are starving for honesty, not perfection. She was quiet for a long moment. I'm scared my voice won't come out. Then speak with your heart, he said. The next day was the last day on set. There were hugs, laughter, even a few tears. The final scene was filmed just after sunset. Golden light poured in through the studio windows. Perfect lighting, perfect timing. Anna and Keanu stood side by side as the final shot ended. Cut, the director shouted. That's a wrap. Crew exploded in applause. Anna exhaled deeply. Her heart beat fast. The moment was too big to hold, but she tried anyway. Someone handed her a microphone. Wrap party's starting. We're expecting your speech, they said with a grin. She took the mic in her hand. It felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. She turned to Keanu. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't worried. Just looked at her like he always did, like she mattered, and for the first time in a long time, she believed him. The party was loud. Lights strung across the rooftop. Music playing. Laughter spilling from every corner. Anna stood by the edge, holding the mic tightly. She looked out at the Faces crew. Cast. Strangers who had become family over months of work. She felt her knees weaken. But then she saw Keanu dot off to the side, hands in his pockets, eyes steady, no pressure, no push, just presence. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. The crowd quieted slowly. The mic crackled. Hi, she began, voice small. I'm not great with speeches. A few laughs, gentle ones. I'm better at pretending to be someone else, she said, smiling. But this time, I want to speak as me. The rooftop stilled. I've carried a lot of fear in my life. Fear that if people saw the real me, they'd leave, or they'd stop believing in me. She paused, looked down, but someone reminded me that strength isn't pretending. It's showing up. It's being seen. She looked at Keanu. He didn't move. He didn't need to. Double quotes. So, ... thank you. All of you. Not just for making this film, but for letting me be human. It's for letting me feel, for letting me cry. And not turning away. Her voice broke a little. She didn't hide it. And thank you to the person who reminded me that silence isn't shame, that pain isn't weakness, that kindness ... is louder than applause. She stepped back. The crowd stood in stunned silence. And then the clapping started, slow at first, then louder still. Not because the speech was perfect, but because it was real. Anna handed the mic back, walked straight toward the edge of the rooftop. Keanu was already walking toward her. They met halfway. She looked at him, eyes glassy but proud. I didn't disappear, she said. He smiled. No, you showed up, I think. I think I found my voice again. You didn't lose it, he said gently. You just stopped trusting it. She laughed softly, wiping a tear. "I've never had a friend like you," she said. Keanu nodded. "Me either." They stood there watching the city lights flicker below, and for the first time, Anna didn't feel like she was pretending. She felt present and free. Later that night, she got a message from her mother. "I watched the video of your speech. You sounded just like you did as a little girl singing in the kitchen. I've missed that sound." Anna smiled, holding the phone close to her heart. She didn't reply, not yet. Some feelings don't need words right away. They just need to be felt and held. The day the world listened, its sun rose slowly over the hills. Soft light spilling through Anna's apartment window. She sat at her small kitchen table, hair still messy from sleep, wrapped in a blanket, hands cradling a warm mug. Everything felt quiet, but not the lonely kind. The peaceful kind. There was a letter on the table. Not an email, not a text. A real letter. She had written it the night before, after the rap party, after the speech, after her mother's message. It was addressed to herself. A promise. I will no longer hide the softness in my heart. I will no longer apologize for needing care. And I will never again silence my voice just to make others comfortable. She smiled at it, folded it, slid it into the back of her journal, and just then her phone buzzed. "Keanu, Studio wants us to join the morning panel. They're asking about the rap speech. Looks like the world noticed." Anna stared at the message, then smiled, because something inside her no longer flinched at the word noticed. She typed back, "I'll be there. Thank you for walking with me this far." His reply came quickly. "Always." Panel was full. Media, fans, cameras, lights. They sat side by side on stage. Anna wore a soft cream sweater, no heavy makeup, no armor. She didn't need it. Keanu wore the same quiet expression he always did. The moderator leaned in, and a "yours" speech at the rap party went viral. Millions have seen it now. Many say it gave them hope. "Did you plan for it to be that powerful?" Anna shook her head gently. "No," she said. "I just told the truth. I think people are craving that." "Was it difficult?" "Yes," she admitted. "But not because I didn't know what to say. It was difficult because I was finally saying it as myself." Keanu looked at her, and for a moment the room disappeared, because in her voice he could hear something he hadn't heard in a long time. Wholeness. After the panel, they walked together through a quiet hallway, so similar to the one where it all began. "Funny how it started here," Anna said. "You mean the hallway?" She nodded. "I cried in one like this. Thought no one saw." Keanu looked at her with a small smile, but someone did. "Yeah," she said, voice soft, "and it changed everything." They stopped at the end of the hallway. Anna turned to Ward. "Him, I've been thinking," she said. "About what?" "About what you told me, that someone showed you kindness when you were at your lowest." He nodded. "You never told me who," she said. Keanu single quotes eyes softened. "It was a stranger, years ago, on a subway. I was grieving, lost, and this woman, maybe in her 70s, just sat beside me. Didn't ask anything, didn't speak. She just held my hand until I stopped shaking." Anna's eyes welled up. "You never forgot her?" "No," he said. "I never saw her again. But what she did lived on, through me, and now it's through you." Anna took a deep breath. "Want to do the same? Pass it on?" "You already are," Keanu replied. In the months that followed, the film was released. It broke records. Critics praised the acting. But something else happened. People talked about the speech. Fans made clips, shared quotes, wrote letters. Some said, "This made me feel seen." Others said, "I stopped hiding after hearing this." Anna began receiving messages from girls in small towns, boys afraid to cry, mothers trying to be strong, fathers struggling in silence. She read every word. She didn't reply to all, but she held every story like a thread, weaving them into her heart. And she never forgot what Keanu told her. Sometimes the quietest voices are the ones that save us. One evening, Anna stood backstage at an award show. She had been nominated for Best Actress. The announcer's voice echoed through the curtains, and the winner is ... She didn't hear the name. Her heart was pounding too, loudly. Then people stood, clapped. Cameras flashed. It was her. She walked to the stage, trembling but calm. When the microphone waited in front of her, she didn't think about what she would say. She thought about the girl in the hotel room years ago. She thought about her mother in the kitchen. Turning off the radio, she thought about the hallway and Keanu. She took a breath. "Thank you," she began. "Not just for this award, but for reminding me that our stories matter, that honesty matters, and that kindness is a light we can carry for each other." She looked out into the crowd, and in the third row, he was there. Keanu, no expression, just his steady eyes, his presence always. After the show, she found him waiting near the back exit. Away from the crowd, she held her award in one hand. He held a folded piece of paper in his. She smiled. "What's this?" she asked, taking it. "My copy," he said. The quote, "Figured it's time I gave it away for good." She unfolded the paper. Same words. "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about." "You sure?" she asked. "You carry it better now," he said. "Belongs with you." She hugged him, not like a goodbye, but like a beginning, a quiet promise to carry the light forward. Months later, Anna stood at a school in her hometown, talking to young artists. She told them her story. Not as the movie rolls, not the red carpets, but the hallway, the silence, the man who saw her, and the choice she made to speak. Anyway, a girl in the front row raised her hand. "Were you scared?" she asked. Anna smiled. "Yes, but I did it scared. That's still courage." The girl smiled back. Anna reached into her pocket, pulled out the folded paper, looked at it one last time, then handed it to the girl. "You'll know when to pass it on," she said, and walked away.